Hi everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I thought I'd come online and do a reading on camera to see how everybody's doing, say hello, catch up. Sometimes it's nice to see a familiar face, and I was listening to these great YouTubers that really picked up my mood the other day. They were talking about, how a lot of more people are going live now. Helpers want to help and reach out, and now a lot of YouTubers are becoming somebody's late night talk show, or coffee morning show, all of those things, and they feel connected. They like the person's voice, style, personality, whatever it is, the familiarity within their routine. So I gave that a shot this morning. I'm most likely not going to air it because it was like a trial piece, and it was so funny. At one point it was like the screenshot was like the sliver in the middle, and then it was going back and forth to my living room and to me, and it was just like I wanted to have a kind of like a trial. And yeah, I think we worked out all the kinks, and Indy helped me, thank God, because every once in a while it's like you have to get to the right thing on your phone to be able to do that. So today's read I wanted to do is, where are we heading in like the next 2 months? I feel like the next 2 months is really crucial in that we're all really moving to this higher adaptability. We're becoming one of two things, it seems like. We're becoming kind of contented in this new groove and realizing that, our home and our yards and our space, as long as we kind of have a little bit of privacy and we're able to do things, and we have internet, because that's really important. Any artistic endeavors, I feel like, is really coming through for a lot of people right now. If they had shelved any gifts that they have because they were getting too busy being productive in other areas of their lives, say work or going out to the gym or going shopping or all of that, they now can hone in on all these artistic gifts too. So people are doing really well with that. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I feel like some people are getting a little bit cagey. If they don't have yards or whatever, they're getting tired. They're actually getting tired of television. They're actually getting tired of watching too much news. So this is really important right now, that we watch what we're letting in, right? Because it emotionally charges us, either positively or negatively. And of course, too much stuff that's detriment to society and the world is going to affect us. So we want to stay away from that. So I'm going to do pick a card. I'm going to let you guys pick your goddess today. So I'm going to need glasses for this endeavor. Lastra, which is new beginnings. A lot of people, we've already forged a new way of how to exist. Like, I change it up every day. I decided this morning, even though I went to bed quite late, I'm like, girl, you are getting up and staying up when Ian gets up. Otherwise, you sleep to like the stage of kind of lethargy, and then I don't really want to move, and then I just want to scroll, and I just want to look at pictures, and I just want to hang out with all my memes all day, and then luckily Indy is a fantastic cook, and they know how to like get the right dietary things in there. Otherwise, it's like I used to just get stretched so thin. So now I'm like, look after body, mind, and spirit. All of it is together. If we neglect one, the other things suffer. Our attention span and our health and all of that start to slowly deteriorate throughout the day if we don't have a good diet, if we're not hydrating, all of that, right? So Lastra is saying that's a good new beginning. So that's number one. And then the second choice is Mama Kila, which is the moon. This is our deep, rich, intuitive voice that says, this is right, or this doesn't feel right, or I'm going to step back. I'm going to reevaluate. I don't have to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and make jump snap decisions that I'm going to regret later. Like, this is saying yes to doing something or obligating yourself or giving away your resources before you really have time to investigate if it's a good choice. The moon says slow it. You don't have to race, right? And Rio, which is going to be number 3, is going to be flow. I love this card the most because it's saying that you don't go under and drown yourself under emotions, problems, all of that. You just flow. You rise above it. You're like on the top of that maze, that perspective of looking down and seeing where it turns and twists, where the exits are, where the entrance are, and that you don't have to stay there because you're not stuck. Flow is exactly what it is: in, around, in between, and being able to evaluate things smoothly without getting too attached. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1, Lastra, which is new beginnings, and see where your energy is going to be right now. So let me give these a I like this because it really helps talk about energy. So you're going to be concentrating on your third house, which is perception. I really love this because the third house has to do with your speech, your thoughts, your social media. Like, are you just inundating it with whatever, pictures of whatever, because you're bored, right? I'm eating this right now. This is my child doing A, B, and C 500 times a day. What's kind of unique and I find fun is I wondered how it would be for people that are constantly in the limelight and the spotlight, stars, talk show hosts, like if they were going to go buggy because they were home. Like, I love Stephen Colbert is one of my favorite speakers. He's erudite. He's super intelligent. He's funny as hell. I just love him. And I was like, what is Colbert doing at home? And same with Sebastian Maniscalco. I watched him 2 days ago, and his wife is the sweetest, most charming thing. And he was saying how he's been a little moody and broody, and he'd switch his phone back of her on the couch, and she'd be looking over, and she'd be like, and he's like, listen, I already admitted to it. I don't need you piling on. And then he starts fussing with her, and she's so sweet. She goes, I'm just saying, our spaces are a little smaller, so we have to be a little nicer. And he goes, and then it's so funny because you'd see that thing. But because our spaces are smaller, we do need to enact a little bit of more, a lot more actually, kindness and calmness, right? And this is also about excursions, research. This is such a phenomenal time for you guys to be able to research whatever it is that you thought you didn't have time for before. It can be anything. What do you want to educate yourself on? Astronomy, anything, the sciences, metallurgy, it doesn't matter. It can be, I'm really into birds, and every once in a while, if I go on one of those, it's like if I go on the any of the wildlife channels, it's like I can just be lost down there. But I feel like it's constructively spent time because I'm doing that. I'm learning something about anything, and you'll be doing that too. It'll also change your perceptions because third house is about how we see things. And if we're always seeing things one way, our life becomes very one-dimensional. We hardly shift, change, or want to grow because we're in that comfort zone. Different perceptions. That's great to get into people and have conversations that have a different point of view because we're not always meant to think just like somebody else or act like we're not sheeples, right? We're individuals. So that's really good. And you also have this nice Virgin, I call it Virgo. It can be Virgoan or Virgin energy. It's the alchemy of things right now. Methodical, aligned. Here's the thing. We're trying to start a new day in a new way. How do we utilize our time wisely without feeling like we always have to produce and do, but have a nice blend of that, right? Some fun, some play. Being efficient. This is about insights, healthy, dutiful, discerning, kind of subtle energies, right? Like, how am I behaving in a way that's most beneficial to my health, to my mental health, right? To my resting state, and, allowing for creativity to come in. Because I always feel like that's dream time, rest time, daydreamy, artistic time too. And we have to have a nice blend of that where we're not just going, achieving, and doing nonstop. So let's see what your overarching and your energy is. I saw a pentacle, so I said enarcos. I'm like combining words today. So let me just crack the deck. First we have strength, and then we have the Empress over on this side. So strength and Empress. And it's funny because I've been having strength come up a lot. And I feel with strength and Empress, you're going to be able to say what you mean and do what you want in a really powerful way without treading on toes, because the Empress is about incorporating everybody else's feelings into this, but still having the courage of your convictions and not letting anybody dissuade you from what you want to do. The school you want to go to, the vocation you want to have, what you want to eat, when you want to sleep, all of that, you're going to be able to stand up and really have some good boundaries within this. And that's important, group one. And you're going to feel good, and you're going to have the alchemy to do that because you're going to have details in place that you need for yourself. Good discerning energy, what's healthy for you, what makes you feel good, right? And starting some good rituals too, because ritualistic behavior is it has a charm and an essence and a flow to it. You're treating yourself well, and you're very evaluative with, okay, not conducive for good health, conducive for good health. Choosing the right things really smartly and feeling good about that. So that's you, group one. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And if you like on-camera stuff, just comment down below. Because sometimes people just like to see their cards. Sometimes people like to see cards and people. So I'm going to try to really spice things up and move things and do lives and do all kinds of things like that. So we're going to go on to number 2 now, which is Mama Kilo, the moon. Now, intuition. I'm always flying by the seat of my intuition because I feel like if I get too much logistics involved, I overcomplicate things, right? I get FOMO. I get the fear of missing out. I'm like, oh, if I eat this, then I can't have that later. If I do this, I won't be able to do that. it's like convoluting things and making it too complex other than simplifying. If I do this now, I'll always have a choice later to do something different or differently if I want to, right? So this is what's happening big time for you guys, and this is going down with a lot of us right now. Keepers of the earth, you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. When we feel like and I love what's happening with the earth itself right now is so healing and replenishing itself. The waters, the forest, animals. There was the weirdest thing I was just seeing, like all over nature is taking over, like the wildlife, and you see moose in the streets, and there was like crazy animal activity too around and near the Eiffel Tower and things where you normally wouldn't see these animals. You know, I feel like it's a real reparative state for the earth and ourselves. So realize that our ancestors are there to help us. I constantly feel this, even though I know there is an earthly loss of someone, there is definitely an ethereal presence and an angelic presence of them all the time. Like I was getting ready this morning, I just burst out laughing because I hear things from my mother in my mother's voice very clearly. And it's just always crazy little sayings that she used to say. And I started laughing because I get head up, or I get too wrapped up in a detail or whatever. Like we were digging through wigs and hats and all this stuff, and all of a sudden it's like I can't see the forest through the trees, and then humor always helps me come through that, and our ancestors are there to help us do this. It's also an awakening stage. Energetic upgrades to a huge degree. Please comment down below if every once in a while you feel almost like vertigo, like kind of fainty or heavy or dizzy or strange. Everybody's getting all these great energetic upgrades. It's a new way of being, an integration, integrating a new way of seeing things with a healthier perspective. You know, it's not so insular. It's definitely the whole collective and for everyone. How will this benefit everybody? It's no more me, me, me. That's the cool thing about the age of Aquarius is how do I and my energy affect other people? And if I do this, where will it resonate? How far? And is it beneficial for everybody? That kind of beautiful energy. And it's calming. It really is. It resonates, you know, deep in our soul that we should be always behaving like this. And sometimes it takes a big change for us to know this. Now, you also have the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like you've kind of got your money-making wheels on too. Like, how can I provide for myself in my future and do something also that I love? I always feel like it's really important for us to love our vocation, how we earn our money, because there's energy and everything attached to that, right? All the little energetic threads. When we love what we do, we produce something entirely different than when we do it verbatim or for rote or for minimal wage or for somebody else that doesn't appreciate it. It's a whole different energy stream. We really want to up our game, especially people that are self-employed. It's a personal stamp on what they do. Artists know this. You don't want to put garbage out there. You're going to take that extra time. And I started doing this. I remember when I was first making my jewelry, I'd get really upset because clasps wouldn't stay on tight or things would come through. So I had to try many different materials and tools to get the best ones. And also, you ever have a piece of jewelry where something lays funny, like a bead or something flips over and it always moves? I don't like that. So I would rearrange things and really put my heart and soul in it to have it lay beautifully, be the right weight, not pinched and all of that, because it's me. I'm creating this. And I'm like, why put out something that is not 100% when all it takes is a little extra time to make it 100%, right? And people are knowing this right now. And because people are choosing to do more what's worthy of them, their time and their gifts, they're producing things of value. Prices are going up, people. People understand their worth and their value, and they're not going to undervalue. I always felt like so many times, because people that are involved in the arts see them as gifts, they undervalue and underprice their things because they think, I love doing this, so I would do it anyway. However, materials cost a lot. Time becomes, once you increase your volume and people want what you have, your time becomes more valuable as well. So this is something that you're going to take into deep consideration right now. And we're going to see what energies are also going to be coming up and affecting you. Mercurial energy, yeah, communication. Words time for you, you know, to get your point across. Thoughts, analysis, information, learning, trade, ideas, smarts. You're really wanting to decipher between what is going to be substantial in your life, have meaning and have worth, and what you should pay attention to now more than everything. And you're going to be able to communicate that with somebody, because I feel like you guys are going to understand who are your true time wasters. We all have that. We all have one or two friends. They want to commiserate about everything, agony, aunt you to death, tell you every problem they've ever had, dump everything on you, disappear and hang up that phone. People are like no longer doing that, nor are they going to allow for people to infringe on their energy or time when it isn't helpful for any way for them. They're just succubus, just energy, gone, gone, gone. You're really tapping into that and going, I want people to galvanize me, make me feel happy, and make me feel together, and make me feel vibrant and alive, and tap into that energy. And that's exactly what you're doing, group 2. And it's important. So I'm really excited. So that's you guys. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below. If you need a private read or anything, everything is down there. Okay, so now we're on to Rio, which is flow, number 3. I love this card so much because it just speaks of, and I love the artistry in this too, it just speaks of just go with the flow, be chill, don't get overexcited about things. There's no reason to. Nothing is I love, you know, what's her first name? Eleanor Roosevelt's saying of nobody can put you down unless you allow that. It's the same thing. Nobody can disrespect you, your time, who you are, anything whatsoever, unless you allow that. So when we just go with the flow and we're like, you're just not even in my energy sphere, I don't even see it. A lot of you guys are going to be burning so bright that it's not. It's like obfuscated. You don't see the negativity. You don't see the nitpickers, everybody. Because unhappy people, bored people, agitators, they want to derail and, hey, look over here, and you can't do that, and you shouldn't do that, and why are you doing it like that? All those kind of people that just add all this kind of fire to the flame of insecurity because they're insecure. You're just flowing right by that. You have a nice bright light. You understand what's fundamentally important and meaningful because you're going through this, you know, this Uranus stage of breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality, insight, awakening. And when we're awake and we're our original beautiful selves that are completely authentic, superficiality starts to bother us. Really massive materialism or people only talking about things, it begins to bore you, right? It's like anybody can get stuff and acquire stuff, but what does that mean? And oftentimes when people place more value on that than friendships and people, you don't really want that either. Like you're really plugging into what matters right now. You know, you're on the edge of something. You're going to start to diversify and tap into all these talents and gifts that you have, and boom, miraculous things are going to take off. I feel like financially you're going to do really well because of that as well. Yeah, so we have this beautiful 4 of Wands. You're planning for the future, and the High Priestess, and you're doing it with this beautiful innate intuitive energy that says, you know what? I feel good when I do this, therefore I'm going to continue to do this. It feels good within me. I know it's something that I'm on the right path when I'm doing this. I can alter, twist, deviate, and change whenever I want. I don't have to do anything, right? That gorgeous energy. And the 4 of Wands. Let's future plan. Let's get some ideas together. Let's brainstorm. Let's write things down. Let's see what is going to garner the kind of results I want. You ever just feel like you have this energy and you start to pour it into something and all of a sudden you kind of switch gears. You're like, okay, I've done enough of this. Because even if it's something that we utterly love, we do need to switch things up. We do need to change the energy stream. Oftentimes going outside works really beneficially for this. We go outside, we get a breath of fresh air, we feel cleansed, we feel redirected. That happened to me yesterday. I was like really feeling fatigued and I realized I wasn't stretching and exercising quite enough, that my brain was getting a little foggy. So I went out to the nature center, boom, all these ideas, and I was getting this great future planning. This is what I want to do tomorrow. I want to go live more. I want to connect, so on and so forth. And you're going to really feel that energy. So let's pull you into these because I love these. Oh, that's a good one. So mirror, who or what is triggering you? Lots of times people have parents, siblings, children, whatever. People that have different or opposing attitudes. And what happens is if it's more important for somebody to be right, they can keep going at you. So it's one of those things that can trigger you, and they'll want that. They'll want that response. So they'll keep going till they get it. Don't participate because you're in that flow card now, and you'll recognize it for what it is. Somebody just wanting attention, somebody wanting to prod and poke, and you're just not into it. You're into this. Okay, I'm not going to be triggered because I'm not triggered unless I allow it. I'm in control. Somebody can basically come up and scream in your face, you're a big fat a-hole, wah, 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 and you could be like, how nice of you to notice, and walk away. You know what I mean? Don't give in to that power, because what happens is it does take 2 to argue and 2 to tango. And if you just don't want to do it, you're not. And I feel like you're also going to recognize really wisely and really beautifully what does trigger you and why it has in the past, and why you no longer are going to allow for that. Because when we decide that something isn't conducive to our mental health, we need to get rid of it, right? It's one of those things where we're so habitual that we hang on to things, we hang on to patterns, and we tend to do this even more within our family units, right? We kind of construct, here's my zone in my family. Oh, I'm going to placate this person because they do this or that, and I don't want a confrontation. Or I'm going to use an escapist route because I don't want to deal with this person at all. I'm going to be combative with this person because whatever it is, I see it all the time within people that message me, and I see these patterns that form, and they're within my own family as well, like, because everybody's individual and they want what they want when they want it, and they don't, everybody goes about it differently, right? Some people are very generous and very accepting and all of that, and they ask for time and space, and just other people just kind of trample through like a rhino. Like, it's within every family, but we're recognizing what these patterns are and how to restore calm within ourselves regardless of what's going on, and you're going to be able to do that really beautifully, group 3. So I'm loving that for you. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. If you need a private read or anything, just let me know. Love and light to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, my patrons, for supporting your Instagrammers, you followers, participating in all the fun contests, and especially, you guys over like loving my creations up over on Etsy and wearing them and getting excited about it. I tell you guys, now that I have the time to really shop for amazing stones and have like really great ideas on piecing certain things together, I get really excited. Like, this is right within reach. And it's funny, I just modified this the other day because I love pearls and working with pearls, and I was finding like regular pearls just kind of boring. So I was like, I want to have a little bit of sparkle, and there's all these tiny little gold gems that I have, and they really catch the light and they look so beautiful. And I like Baroque pearls, and it's one of these things where I can just lay them down now and like have a good time with them. So whatever you're doing, take your time artistically. You're not in a hurry. If you want to fabric paint, create, make anything, like now I feel like a whole world of opportunity is open up in ideas, because with all the channels now that teach us how to do stuff, you can learn to do anything as well. So and what I'm going to do too for more Patreon, I had done some in the past, how to string certain things and tie them off, really how to formulate and get a plan, very few beads, and you can start making pieces. And it's so nice to have them in your home for gifts and have them ready. And I think the really high grade elastic bracelets are one of the best things. And then I'll do like another tutorial with that, because I've got some new ideas, and it can save you so much money, because when you buy, good ethically sourced things and you put it together, you can do it at a fraction of cost that you'd buy it from anywhere else, and it's nice because you can put your own little spin on it as well. So that's must be gabbing about jewels. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll go upload. Love and light.